fellow colleagues in the legal profession, allow me to once again introduce myself. My name is Peter Wanyama, that is the PhD. For those who are eager to know, I was born 43 years ago in the peasant farms in Bungoma County, based in Stepice. Today I am standing before you to formally confirm that we have run a successful campaign for the Law Society of Kenya President. And I want to begin by thanking all Kenyans and advocates for believing in my cause. It is a cause that will transform the Law Society of Kenya, a cause that will set leadership at the Law Society of Kenya. And we believe that under my tenure as Law Society of Kenya President, we will do what it takes to be able to once again reconnect with Kenyans. In terms of my campaign manifesto, it is based at the foremost on the question of protecting the sovereignty of Kenyans. And allow me to just say something here. To the residents of Vikobani in Miritini, Mombasa, if you are watching this coverage, just know that Law Society of Kenya has listened to your cry. That gas company that is emitting toxic waste to the environment, that gas company in Vikobani in Miritini in Mombasa, that is emitting a lot of gas, bad waters that damage the environment. Kids are suffering from cancer. People in Vikobani have health problems because of that gas company. I want to state that henceforth, the Law Society of Kenya will be responsible for the pushing through of the rights of all Kenyans, including the people of Vikobani in Mombasa, who yesterday went to the media and complained severely that the government of Mombasa, the government of Kenya, is doing nothing. They are doing nothing to protect the residents of Vikobani from toxic gas emission. Under the Constitution of Kenya, every Kenyan has a right to clean environment. And it is the responsibility of the Law Society of Kenya, under my leadership, to listen to every concern of Kenyans to ensure that we protect your right to clean environment, and we are going to do what it takes to immediately address that problem, the problem of Vikobani in Miritini, Mombasa. We will not allow Kenyans to suffer, yet the Law Society of Kenya has a mandate under Section 4 of the LSK Act to protect the public and to advise government on legal issues. So to me, that I believe is a core function that we are going to implement. Members of the public just know that we are going to utilize our resources in the legal profession to ensure that we protect public interest of Kenyans. And therefore, the residents of Vikobani in Miritini, Mombasa, please, we are going into a new leadership from next week when we get elected this Thursday. We are going to do what it takes to ensure that we immediately file a public interest case at the Land and Environment Court in Mombasa. We will liaise with the Mombasa Law Society to ensure that we protect your rights to a clean environment. And let this message go throughout Mombasa and throughout Kenya. Every company that is damaging our environment will do what it takes as Law Society of Kenya to provide that sufficient backing to you, because that is our mandate. Secondly, on the question of protecting the sovereignty of Kenyans, I also want to assure members of the legal profession and Kenyans that under my leadership as Law Society of Kenya President, we will fully protect your sovereignty. We will fully protect your sovereignty as Kenyans, because we know at the moment that you are actually suffering. The economic situation is not very good. Most Kenyans don't have disposable income in their pockets. There is a problem because throughout the household economy, we cannot afford basic services as Kenyans. So under my leadership as Law Society of Kenya, President, I will do what it takes to ensure that we protect Kenyans from an aggressive government. We will look at and audit all laws which have been passed by Parliament to ensure that the rights of Kenyans are fully safeguarded. We will not allow, under any circumstance under our tenure, for government to increase taxes willy-nilly, to raid our pockets. You are suffering and they raid our pay slips. We go to the shop and you find the cost of goods and commodities is very high. And all that is the product of a regime that is really taxing Kenyans heavy. We will ensure that every taxation that is done by government protects the sovereignty of Kenyans, and if it is painful, Law Society of Kenya is going to resist these policies so that we are able to protect Kenyans from suffering. So I want to make that assurance that we are going to do mass public interest litigation to protect Kenyans who are arrested by the police for no reason, to protect Kenyans from government. Thirdly, on the question of the independence of the judiciary, let me be again clear here and consequential. The independence of the judiciary is very core to address the challenges that we are facing now in terms of ideologies. Law Society of Kenya is going to be very strong. We will protect Martha Koome, the Chief Justice, because at the moment we think that we feel in the legal profession that the Chief Justice is letting down Kenyans by trying to bend the court system to listen to the whims of the executive. So what we are saying is that as Law Society of Kenya, we don't want to lose an independent judiciary, because once you lose an independent judiciary as Kenyans, it will be really a major problem for us. So we are going to provide that buffer to ensure that we fully and strongly, stoically and consequentially protect the independence of the judiciary in Kenya. What it means then is that the government of Kenya and all officials, starting from Nakuru, we have seen the War Memorial Hospital case, where there is massive disobedience of court orders. We have seen the president himself come out and say he's not going to obey court orders. And what the message that we are sending across is that Law Society of Kenya will speak up, and we call upon the president and the persons who are in the executive, including Parliament, to ensure that decisions of the judiciary are obeyed. As LSK, we will do what it takes to ensure that you follow court orders. And let me remind them here that the government has three legs: the judiciary, the executive, and Parliament. All these legs, in terms of the constitutionalization, they have been created by the people of Kenya in the sovereign document, that is the Constitution, and they have been given specific mandate. We urge the three arms of government to respect each other when it comes to exercise of their respective constitutional powers. We don't want the president to undermine the judiciary. We also don't want Parliament to undermine the judiciary, because the judiciary exists as a counterpoint to dictatorship and majoritarianism. The judiciary is supposed to speak for the Kenyans through the judgments, Kenyans who are oppressed. And when they issue decisions, we must respect those court orders. So for the governor in Nakuru, please, governor, respect the court orders which were issued in respect to the War Memorial case. And for the president, respect the court orders which have been issued by the judiciary, the housing sector, court orders which have been issued in the NSSF case, and many others which are going to come. The fourth message which I want to pass across again is that under my leadership as Law Society of Kenya President, We have listened to the concerns of Kenyans, and we are going to address this issue of quacks. Quacks also hurt Kenyans. You have seen what happens when you buy property without going through a legal support, legal advice. We have seen what happens in Mavoko at the river when you invest millions of shillings without doing a proper due diligence. We've seen what happens in Europe when Kenyans are really suffering. So it is our responsibility as Law Society of Kenya to do what it takes to ensure that we advise members of the public that the legal sector, lawyers exist to also protect your interest, so that you don't end up investing quite a lot through quacks. So we are going to improve our systems as Law Society of Kenya to ensure that you Kenyans, whenever you are looking for an advocate, you are looking for a lawyer, you will be able to use your smartphone and dial and confirm that the person that you are engaging with is not a quack. A person that you are instructing does not take your money, yet is not licensed by the Law Society of Kenya. We are going to improve systems to ensure that all the counties, the Law Society of Kenya chapters and branches in all the counties, provide that support to members of the public so that we weed out quacks in the registration of companies, in the buying of land, and in the filing of court cases in Kenya. What I want to say here to assure you is that Law Society of Kenya is ready to engage with members of the public on the issue of courses so that you are able to get quality legal advice without compromising the integrity of the services that you get as Kenyans. So don't feel disenchanted. Law Society of Kenya is going to change forever. Very soon you will see adverts on TV and radio where we will be guiding you where to go when you want to get quality and affordable legal services. We are also going to engage with stakeholders elsewhere to ensure that for Kenyans who cannot afford legal services, for whatever reason, if you are a widow, if you are a person of disability, if you are a Kenyan whose income has been taken away and you need legal services, Law Society of Kenya will look for resources from within and outside to ensure that we provide what we call legal aid schemes. Because the idea is to reconnect with members of the public. So that's an assurance. If you, under my tenure, when you need legal services, you will definitely get legal services in all the chapters and branches in the entire Republic of Kenya. So please, we are going to have that increased conversation so that we are able to protect your rights as Kenyans and reconnect with you Kenyans so that you are able to have quality legal representation whenever you face legal challenges. To the members of the legal profession, I have been in the sector for, to the members of the legal profession, thank you, we are going live, so we'll pause a little bit. So, once again, let me reintroduce myself. So myself as Law Society of Kenya's President, I will do what it takes to ensure that we strengthen the rule of law apparatus. We will offer very strong and strategic leadership that Kenyans feel. We will also protect our practicing space from quacks. We will do massive reforms to ensure that, and this one calls for strategic engagement with Parliament and all the other stakeholders so that we streamline our practicing space. We are going to do what it takes to clean up registration of companies. We are going to do what it takes to promote reforms in the land sector and also streamline litigation in the context of public interest litigation. So myself, I seek your support. I seek the support of Kenyans to be the next Law Society of Kenya President who will provide that consequential and strategic leadership that is needed to members of the public in Kenya. We are going to be extremely strong on rule of law. We will protect the independence of the judiciary. We will do what it takes to ensure that the government of Kenya obeys court orders. Court orders are not pieces of paper to be pieces of paper which you disobey. So we want to reassure Kenyans that we are here and we will protect you. And lastly, let me just send a message to the live persons who are watching from Miritini in Mombasa, that in Kenya, and with respect to the other candidates, we urge you to ensure that you listen to the concerns of advocates. We urge you to, the concern of advocates is very simple, step down for a serious and consequential leadership. Once you have been to the Law Society of Kenya before, once you have been to the Law Society of Kenya before and you have done your work, please, no matter how good a dancer you are, know when to exit the stage, so that we offer strategic leadership to Kenyans. So on 29th, I urge that all of us, the advocates and Kenyans, come out to support our bid for the Law Society of Kenya. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, as Law Society of Kenya, we are going to improve our systems. We are going to improve our IT platform so that we weed out all quacks who don't have a license. So what we are going to do is that we are going to ensure that there is a USSD code which is provided for Kenyans to be able to access legal services immediately, and you'll be able to confirm whether someone is an advocate or not by just using a smartphone to ensure that you don't fall under the hands of quacks. There are so many quacks. So far, they have briefed all the candidates, and we believe that advocates will make the right choice. What we need is IBC to provide that platform for us to have a free and fair election, which I believe advocates will definitely vote for this.